Hey, so today we're going to talk about drop shadows. So if you can open up your packet to the page that says drop shadows, we're going to talk about them. They're pretty awesome. So the first thing I want you to do is a Command O to open. And I'd like you to please open up the file. It is literally called 3.flower PSD. 3.flower PSD. And this time I'd like you to do a Command 0 to get it to fill your screen. So you're just literally looking at this image. We're not going to do a ACWV to get it onto another page. I want you to notice that on my screen, and it should be on yours too, that one of the layers is just the plain white layer. And one of the layers is literally the vase, but as you can see, if I turn off the eyeball of the white layer, you can see that the vase is stuck to nothing. There's no background attached to it. That's super important for this. So I'm going to turn back on the eyeball for the white layer, and I'm going to make sure that I'm on the vase layer because we're going to put a shadow behind the vase. The next thing I want to do, step number 2, is go to the FX, which is called Layer Style palette at the bottom of the Layers palette. So down here you'll see it says FX. If I click on that, all these choices come up. We're going to go over all these other choices later. Right now I just want you to scroll down to the bottom and choose Drop Shadow. Once you do that, the Layer Style palette will come up and you can see that a default drop shadow showed up already. If you want to increase the size of your shadow, the spread of your shadow, the darkness of your shadow, those are all things that you can do. You can even literally come over here and move your shadow around. Sometimes I just like the default shadow, but sometimes I like to make it darker or lighter depending on what my light source is. And you can even change the angle of the shadow if the light is coming from the other direction. So once you understand how to make a drop shadow and you've played with it a little bit, you're just going to do a Shift Command E, File, Save As, and you're going to call this one Drop Shadow. Give it a name, your name. Save it as a JPEG to the desktop so you can find it to open on Schoology. Hit Save and OK. Wonderful. And then I just want you to make sure that when you close the 3.flower PSD that you don't save the changes. You want to make sure that you don't save the changes because we're going to need that file again for another tutorial. So that's Drop Shadows. Thanks.